Hello everyone, this is Anish Verma and you are listening to the Empower Your Mind for Success podcast. Thank you for listening. I remember when I was working for my previous employer and I used to be on a lot of calls with my clients and with my subordinates. And most of the time I took the calls on the road in the car, right? And I used to drive from home to the office, and I'm taking the calls and talking on the phone with my headsets on or the Bluetooth on. And it was about depending upon traffic, anywhere between 25 to 35 minutes drive. And sometimes I left home with a call going on, and I reached office, and after the call got over, I could not remember how I got to the office. I mean, I knew I was driving, but I didn't notice any signs on the road. Nothing special of the ride came to my mind, of the drive came to my mind. I just realized I am in the office, as if I was on autopilot and got to the office. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has, because that's the power of our subconscious mind. When you drive to the office on the same route pretty much every day for multiple years, you don't have to remember how to get there. Your subconscious mind knows what to do, and it kind of it takes over, and that's when you get in the autopilot mode, as they call it, and you get to the office. Another example is I don't know when was the last time you drove a bicycle, but it has been a while for me. But even now, if I want to ride a bicycle, I can very easily do that. I don't have to teach myself again of how to ride a bicycle, because when I learned how to ride a bicycle when I was, pretty young, the instructions of how to ride a bicycle were stored in my subconscious mind. So now when I have to ride a bicycle, my subconscious mind opens up the files in those folders and teaches my body how to ride a bike, and you ride a bike. That is again the power of your subconscious mind. You see, our subconscious mind and the conscious mind both do not know the difference between right or wrong. They primarily for the subconscious mind. I think the conscious mind does know. The conscious mind is the reasoning mind, and the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. The conscious mind does know the difference between black and white, gray, the different shades of gray. But mostly our subconscious mind is driving our life. 90 to 95% of our tasks that we do on a day-to-day basis are being driven by the subconscious mind. And that is good for us, because the subconscious mind has an unlimited potential or capacity. It is not limited. Our conscious mind is limited. It cannot multitask. It can do only one task at a time. But subconscious mind can do multiple tasks at the same time for you. So that is why the subconscious mind takes over for most of our tasks. However, the other thing also that happens is that there are several leading behavioral scientists who keep telling us that 77% of our thoughts in our subconscious mind are negative, and or are counterproductive, or are doubting ourselves, having an impact on our self-image, lowering our self-confidence as well, right? So, and that is because our subconscious mind was trained that way. So let me step back here and tell you guys, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a research scientist either. However, I have read several books on mindset, and I've spoken to several people, listened to several podcasts, and now there is a lot of biological evidence where this can be proved in a lab of how the subconscious mind is so powerful and how it can take over. So when we are born, I had mentioned this in one of my previous podcasts, right? So when we are born, our mind is like a computer, right? And anything that is said to us, what we hear, what we see is kept on getting fed into our computer, into our brain. And especially when we are small, up to the ages of 7 to 9, we do not have a conscious mind developed as yet. So everything that is being fed to us into our mind directly gets into the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It does not know the difference between good, bad, and ugly. Whatever is told to the subconscious mind, it just receives it, right? That is why, when kids are playing in the mud and having a tea party, the same neurons fire or trigger in their mind as if they were actually drinking tea. Even if it's make-believe for them, the same neurons fire. That is why kids believe in Santa Claus and a lot of other fairy stories and tooth fairies and other things, right? Because they don't know the difference. So they believe whatever is told to them. From ages 7 to 9 and upwards, kids start building a conscious mind, and that is when they realize that some of the things like tooth fairies and Santa Claus may not be true, or is more of make-believe, right? So what this means is that by the time we realize what is right or wrong, our subconscious mind has already been trained by our environment. So if you grew up in a positive environment, you will be more self-confident, your self-image will be higher. But if you grew up in an environment that was not that conducive, where your parents yelled at you a lot, or your teachers yelled, or your siblings were always teasing you and trying to put you down, then that is what you're going to believe about yourself. Now, globally, chances are that we all grew up in a not so conducive environment, and that is not something bad or wrong, but that is how we were raised, right? If you think about it, our parents told us no more than yes, right? Do not run, you will fall and trip. Do not touch the electrical outlet, right? Do not touch fire. You cannot have that candy. You are stupid. You are dumb. You don't understand. You can't do that. This. You can't do that. Right? We have kept on hearing that. Actually, we hear 148,000 no's. During our childhood. So most of us, our subconscious minds are trained to listen to no more, right? That is why we have this stranger danger. That is why we have this anxiety. That is why we are not always risk averse. The other way to think about this is, have you noticed that our parents have told us, or our friends have told us, oh, that's a Jewish family. So obviously they are very smart and they're very good in running businesses. Oh, that's a Chaldean family. They are going to do a business no matter what. Oh, that's an Indian family. I'm sure they are very smart and they are only doctors or engineers, right? Now, if you think about it, why does that happen? See, when a kid grows up in an environment where both parents, or one parent is a doctor or an engineer, that is what he's looking up to. That is what he's learning. That is how his environment is. So the chances of the child becoming a doctor or an engineer is higher as compared to another family. Something to step back and think about, right? In India there is a community, a Gujarati community, which is very popular for conducting businesses, right? In the US, most of the Indian stores are run by that community. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them, right? So even in India, we used to say that, oh, if you are a Gujarati, or if you are a Marwadi, or if you're from that community, of course you're going to be a business owner. Why? Because the child grew up in that environment. He or she did not know any better. So that is why you take up business. In an environment where parents have always been employees, you would rather find being an employee more favorable than not. It is because of the environment we grew up in. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean that our fate is locked, sealed, and done. That is not the case. And Dr. Shad Helmstetter, in his book What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, spoke about a new concept called as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means that you can rewire your brain and your subconscious mind and train it to behave differently or behave in a way that you want it to behave, right? Now what that means is you first need to realize why you do certain things, what drives you to do certain things. You need to kind of baseline your behavior and then kind of try to improve on it. When we grow up, when we are above 9-10 years of age, the only way you can train your subconscious mind or you can rewire your subconscious mind is by repetition. There is no other way to train your subconscious mind, right? That is why, we remember the way to going to the office every day because we have been doing that repeatedly. We remember how to brush our teeth because we have been doing it every day, twice a day, or at least once a day every day for years, right? That is why we don't think of how to brush our teeth. We don't think of how we are going to walk. We just walk, right? We don't tell our mind, oh, lift your leg, flex your knee, straighten your knee so that your foot moves forward, then keep the foot down on the floor. That's not what you tell your mind when you're walking. It just knows. That is how, by repetition, we can rewire our subconscious mind. So if you want to become a business owner and you have grown up in an employee environment family, So if you want to be a business owner and you have grown up in an employee environment family, you will have to start associating with people who have businesses, who run businesses. You'll have to start reading books around how to run businesses. You'll have to insert yourself in an environment that will start exposing you, or where you will start listening to business owner thoughts, business owner mindset discussions, the business running business discussions, so you can start rewiring your brain. Now you will have to develop habits as well, because like I mentioned before, it happens only through repetition. And Dr. Shad Helmstetter on his website, you can Google him, talks about affirmations and how affirmations can help you rewire your subconscious mind. And affirmations are something that you listen to every day, in the morning and in the night, so that you can start rewiring it. Dr. Shad Helmstetter in his book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, spoke about an audio that he had created for him to lose weight. And every day in the morning when he shaved, he listened to that audio. Over a few weeks, months, he lost weight. Now it was not magic. Of course, he exercised, because that is what the affirmation told him to do. But his wife, who was also in the bathroom at the same time, brushing her teeth or getting ready, doing other things, also lost weight because she was listening to the same audio, the same affirmation. So this is great news for us, right? This neuroplasticity, or the concept of neuroplasticity, is amazing, because now we can rewire our brain, our subconscious mind, for it to do what we want it to do. See, you have to remember, the mind is not the master. The mind is the slave. So if you can tell your mind by design of what you want it to do, it will go out and do it. It doesn't know whether it is good or bad. So we have to be very ethical about this, okay? And that is why not many people talk about this that openly, because you want to make sure that people who are listening to this are going to use this magic, so-called magic, ethically. So then you can then use this and move forward and get better at whatever you're trying to do. The mind will go out and try to do it for you. Not try, it will go out and do it for you. It doesn't have a choice. And Dr. Shad Helmstetter explains this beautifully in this book, right? The mind doesn't have a choice. It does what it is told to. Now, how do you tell your mind what to do? You tell your mind what to do with your thoughts. And if you remember one of the previous podcasts I did on thoughts, it is very important to have the right kind of thoughts to rewire your subconscious mind. Hence, everything begins with a thought. Hence, the Chinese proverb, be careful what you wish for, right? So it all starts with the thoughts. Now, how do you get good thoughts? No magic to it again, guys, right? The only way you can get good thoughts is to be very intentional of what you are putting in your mind. What are you exposing yourself to? What kind of environment you're putting yourself in? If you want to have a six-pack and you want to exercise every day, that is great, but then you cannot put yourself in an environment where your friends go to McDonald's every day. You will not lose weight. You will not build those six-packs. For you to build six-packs, you will have to start putting yourself in an environment where the people that you're associating with also go to the gym every day. They become your support system. They become your environment that will encourage you and move you forward. That is why, people have these great quotes listed on their walls or pasted on their walls in their offices or at homes, right? So that it reminds you of what you want to achieve. See, being successful is an act of intention. There is luck involved only after you put in the effort, right? Luck is created, and luck is not created by magic, guys. Luck is created by habits and by using the power of the subconscious mind, right? If you rewire your subconscious mind to achieve what you want to, that's when you become lucky, or that's when people say, oh yeah, he or she's got lucky. It's got nothing to do with luck. It's everything to do with the effort you put in, with the intentionality, and in the right environment, and with the right support system around you, right? That is why it's a compounding effect of habits. So I hope this helps you to step back and think a little bit about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. In addition to the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, there is another book written by Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he in this book explains very well about, what are the different states of our mind based on the age. And the name of the book that Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote is The Biology of Belief. A fascinating book. It's more of a science-based, medical, lingo-based book. It's really, it's written by a doctor, a cellular biologist. So he has written a book based on, a lot of medical jargon. So I would not want to read that book first. You would rather read What to Say When You Talk to Yourself book first. But both those books are great. No wonder, there are so many other books that all start with thinking, right? Think and Grow Rich, Magic of Thinking Big, As the Man Thinketh, which is also a biblical proverb, right? All these things are scientific, right? You may also remember the documentary The Secret, which is based on the law of attraction. It is the same concept, guys. It is the concept of rewiring your subconscious mind to help it go out in the universe and get what you want in return, right? But you have to be intentional, you have to be repetitive, you have to set habits around you to be repetitive, create an environment which will be conducive for you to form those habits. So it is all being intentional and all having a very important purpose or a burning desire for you to achieve it. I hope this helps. Please share, please provide your feedback to me. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Remember, you have unlimited potential. Own it. Thank you for listening. Until next time, take care.